why they don't hook? 39. Do you know why they don't hook? 39 feet of open play. It's all house balls that have gone down the surface. They don't have links here anymore. And when you have all house balls that go down the lane, guess what the house balls do?
Yeah. And if they don't have a good cleaner, it's not going to take it off.
They have a flex machine, but the question is, did they clean it X before? Probably not. So they're going to play.
Oh, they're super tight right now?
No.
Yeah. That'll force you right.
This is what happens when you put out a sport pattern and a place that's had all the play.
Yeah. Good luck.
It's a great example.
Good morning. I want to do a test for the audio to see if you guys can hear me properly. This is Riley Smith at the Elite Youth Tour, and we are live at Lucky Strike in Romeoville, Illinois. So if you guys can, give me a few comments for those of you that are with me here, and let me know if you can hear me just okay, or if we need anything adjusted. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing. We're testing over here, testing over there. Can you guys hear me okay? Andrea, thank you. So thanks for tuning in. If you can, give the video a share so all of your friends and family can join us here at the Elite Youth Tour February edition. Today, this is the Midwest Dock Solutions Open, presented by Midwest Dock Solutions. We're in Romeoville, Illinois, at Lucky Strike. Previously Bolero, still Bolero, but moved to the name Lucky Strike. We've got some really fun things going on today that I'll get to. One of the most interesting things today is that this is the very first Elite Youth Tour that is being bowled on string pins. So instead of the natural falling pins, today we are bowling on USBC certified string pins. So what that does is takes away a lot of the mechanics that are needed with the traditional free falling machines and all of the equipment that's needed for it. And literally there's strings that go into the pins that's what resets the pins, sets them up, and as they fall down, the string stays attached to them, and then all the pins get lifted up, the strings will get untangled, and then reset the rack. So interesting. I've bowled on string pins a couple of times now, but again, this is the Elite Youth Tour's first time with string pins, so keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for the interesting combinations and pinfall that you might see today. Riley Smith coming to you live, courtesy of Bullstream TV. This is the Elite Stream.
I still can't get it to YouTube over on Facebook. Run with it, so I'm running with it. And, see what Emil says. Yeah, I've been texting him. I'm actually going, because it's timed out. And so I looked at what that means. It could be unstable internet connection. So I'm trying to reduce like the quality of it to try to connect it. But what is this? Is this? It says I have decent.
So obviously we are live right now on Facebook Live. And for those of you interested, I am still working on getting us live onto YouTube. Hopefully that comes momentarily. I'm still working through some of the kinks here. Thanks for joining me. We got Andrea already chiming in. Thanks for the audio check confirmation. Looks like we have Shannon McCann as well. So this is game number 1, and we are bowling 6 games in total today. If there are any bowlers for you fans out there that you're looking to keep a tabs on, please let me know. In addition, we have all of our scores that will be updated to Bowl Metrics. And that link is posted in the comment section. It's pinned in that comment section for you to check out. We update that after each game, and it's live refresh. But if there's any bowlers that you're cheering for, let me know. If there's any bowlers that you want me to keep an eye on, I can do the same. Just let me know who that is. So just a few frames remaining in game number 1. And in just a moment, we will get to the details as far as the format, the divisions, number of bowlers, the bowling pattern, and just a lot of other good stuff that we'll get to. We have also got a fundraiser going on today. So a whole bunch of good stuff and exciting stuff that I'll get to momentarily. So still working on the YouTube live section, so bear with me on that one. But again, if you are with me here on Facebook Live, thanks for joining. And please give us a share so everyone else can join and watch some of the best bowlers in the country and in the world in the youth stage. So a few announcements as we wrap up game number 1. And we have JT Grothus on lane 10 into the 200s. 226 if he were to convert one pin here. 227 with a spare. And he will gladly take one. So a great start for JT. Out the blocks, 226. His brother, Zach, chance to get into the 200s as well, working on a turkey. After the 7th, 8th, and 9th frame, over to the right, Justin Freeberg, Ben Medina. Jade Mazinis. And as I mentioned, this is the Elite Midwest Dock Solutions Open. Shout out to Midwest Dock Solutions for sponsoring this event. They have the naming rights here for our February 2026 event at Lucky Strike in Romeoville, Illinois. Shout out to Midwest Dock Solutions. All right, as I mentioned, these are string pins. This is our very first Elite Youth Tour bowling on string pins as opposed to the natural free-falling pins that we are used to. Not only are we live today, but stick around for next Saturday. Book your calendars and remind yourselves that we will be live again next Saturday. We're heading over to Arlington Lanes in just 7 days in Arlington Heights, Illinois. A little bit unusual with the quick back-to-back weekends of our EYTs. There's usually 3 or 4 weeks spanned in between. The way the schedule and lane availability worked out is that we went back-to-back here in March for the next event. So keep that in mind. Next week, Arlington Lanes. If you want to sign up, if you know anybody that is bowling today that has not signed up, or if you have anyone in your area that's not signed up yet, whether they've bowled the EYT before or if they have not bowled the EYT, we encourage you to sign them up or encourage them to sign themselves up. Go to our website, eliteyouthtour.com, where you can find the schedule, sign-ups, etc., and get that going. So hopefully we see you guys next week, March 7th. Going back to our January event, I want to give a shout-out to those winners. Our first event of 2026 got off to a firing start. We have our normal U12, U14, U16, U18, and U23 divisions. So take a moment to congratulate the following EYT champions from our January event. We had in the U12 division, girls, Samantha Ruffin. U12 boys, Xavier Martinez. U14 girls, Leslie Majors. U14 boys, Ethan Nunez. U16 girls, Leah Johnson. U16 boys, Dante Reeves. U18 boys was Joss Weems. And lastly, U23 boys, Mr. Aiden Lee. All right, we are just about done with game number 1. If you're curious about the bowling pattern, I will drop it in the comment section. So you can click that link or copy the link it will take you to the 2025 Junior Gold qualifying pattern number 2 that was used for the U15 and U18 boys divisions. I'll take you guys through the details of that pattern in just a little bit, but if you're curious, go ahead and click that link. 39 feet, 2.97 to 1 ratio with a total oil volume of 27.2 milliliters. There's the basics of it, so it is not going to be easy today. Our bowling pattern is difficult, and that is intended, as we want to bring out difficult patterns for all of our bowlers from U12 all the way to the U23 division, bowling on the same pattern. Also great experience for potential junior gold tournaments, potential college maybe for our high schoolers. And then in the U23 division, some actual college bowlers get to participate on these challenging patterns. So that is the goal, and I think we will see that today, as we saw some lower scores to begin with in game number 1. That's expected. Today is a challenging pattern, as I mentioned, which means hitting your target accuracy is extremely important. Figuring out proper ball roll and ball motion, just as important. And spare shooting is going to be the difference, likely, of making the cut, missing the cut, and when it comes to our exciting Eliminator Finals format, that could be the difference of winning a match versus losing. All in all, keep an eye on how bowlers are playing the lanes and spare shooting. That will be very important. So we transition with Ben converting the 7-pin on lane 12. We'll go from game 1 to game 2. Bowling 6 started just around 9 a.m. Central Time. We had practice and started tournament play. So here we go. Frame 10 there done for Ben, and into game number 2 with our U12 division coming in on lanes 9 and 10. 11 and 12 will have a mix of U12 and U14. Off and running. For those of you joining me live on Facebook, let me know who you're cheering for. If there's anyone in particular that you want updates on, please let me know. All right. Jeannie is cheering for Jade. Awesome. We had Jade on 11 and 12. She's moving over a couple of lanes over to our right now. We are skipping 2 pairs and bowling on the 3rd. We've got a lot of lanes today. Really big turnout. I'll get to the number of bowlers. We're using about 44 lanes today. So a lot of lanes to cover. So we will take advantage of that by skipping 2 pairs and bowling on the 3rd. Also allows for a wide range of bowlers to end up on our live stream by skipping that many pairs. So, Jeannie, thanks for tuning in and cheering for Jade. Jeannie and everyone else, go ahead and click that Bowl Metrics link that I've pinned in the comment section. That'll take you to the main page. And then you can filter by results and go into divisions. We will be updating the scores momentarily, so you can select the division, select the qualifying block, and keep an eye on scores. All right. All right, Helen Lee going through the whole list of bowlers. That's a great thing here. Helen always tuning in with great insight, commentary, and cheering for all the Judson bowlers and future commitments, which is great to see. Local Judson University. So we've got, of course, Aiden Lee cheering for Aiden, Jeremy Gaska, Calix Oates, Calix Oates, Brett Biondo, and their coach now, former Judson bowler, Chloe Sazega. And then going back to the high school roots, Helen says bowlers from Naperville Central High School, Josh Newcomb and Blake Emptman. All right. Thank you, Helen. And Helen, congratulations to Aiden Lee on the U23 victory last month in January's event. Just an amazing thing to see. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I got to see some videos on social media. And that was just awesome to see the big shots that Aiden stepped up and executed on. A couple of strikes, a couple of really key frames where he made spares. I mean, just a true fight from Aiden to capture that elusive Elite Youth Tour win, this time in U23 division. So I was really excited to see that, and I'm sure you were too. So congratulations to Aiden, and congratulations to you as well. Aiden's been through some injuries in the last year or so. So to see him fight through those injuries, come back, get back healthy, and then come back and win was a very impressive feat. Speaking of last month's winners, we've got one of them right in front of us, and that will be the man himself in our U12 boys division, Xavier Martinez. Xavier, bowler number 2. And comes away with a 7 spare in his previous frame. All right, we'll take a moment to talk about the bowling pattern that we are competing on. If you want to click the link, you can get a look at it for yourself. That is in the comment section. So this is a Kegel pattern that was used for USBC Junior Gold. And the name of this one is the 2025 Junior Gold Qualifying Pattern number 2 for the boys divisions of U15 and U18. So there's multiple patterns that are put out at Junior Gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, they just name them the year with Junior Gold and then the number pattern. So there's multiple days of qualifying. So they do 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And this one is number 2 from last year's event. Coming up this summer, we'll have the 2026 Junior Gold Championships. So again, this is from last year's event, which means many of our bowlers actually competed on this pattern or similar patterns. Again, last year this was U15, U18 boys, so we definitely have bowlers that competed on this pattern. And I say similar patterns for other bowlers because what they do at Junior Gold is essentially lay out very similar, we'll call it dimensions of a bowling pattern. And then they just adjust the ratio, maybe the length, and lastly the volume to match up better for maybe the younger bowlers and then the older bowlers. So for example, if they are using this pattern for U15 and U18 boys, maybe for the U12 boys or younger divisions, maybe they make the ratio a little bit simpler for the ratio, or maybe they make the volume a little bit lower so there's not as much oil. You might see that across the board. So without further ado, the current pattern that we are on today, 39 feet in distance. Ratio 2.97 to 1. And volume is 27.2 milliliters of oil. All right, so what does all that mean? At the simplest level, 39 feet, and we use the rule of 31. You do 39 minus 31, so a round 8 board is where paper will tell you the break point should be. So the bowling ball at the break point, when it starts to react and head towards the pins, you want that ball probably to be on the 8 board, no further right than that. That's what paper will tell you, but it's going to play a lot different than simply what paper says because of topography, lanes breaking down as the oil moves, various different factors, but that's the best way to kind of get an idea of where to play. Ratio 2.97 to 1. That is a difficult pattern, a sport pattern. The closer the ratio is to 1 to 1, the flatter it gets. And the flatter it gets, the less available friction there is to return that bowling ball from getting out to the right and coming back to the pocket. So 2.97 to 1 means our bowlers must be accurate. There's not a lot of miss room. So if they're trying to hit that 8 board and they hit 10 board instead, that could result in an errant shot and maybe missing the pocket. All right, and lastly, volume total at 27.2 milliliters. That's on the medium to high side right now for oil volume. On the high side, it would be, 30 to 32 milliliters or higher. That'll be heavy oil. So this is just a little bit under that. Still plenty of oil out there to require stronger bowling balls. So a little more surface. Stronger bowling balls, solid cover stocks. All right, if you have any questions on the pattern, I can get into it in more detail if you have anything. Otherwise, I'll leave you with that. We'll stay high level. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, if you're just joining, what I'm expecting today is low scores. I'm expecting spare shooting to be extremely important today, guys. I am very certain that at some point when it comes to our Eliminator and Match Play Finals, that it will come down to making or missing spares that will determine if a bowler moves on or gets eliminated. There'll still be some strikes thrown, but I will not expect many high scores. This is playing difficult. And last thing to mention is that's what we want to see here at the Elite Youth Tour. We put out patterns that are difficult so our bowlers can learn and adjust and get set up for some success as they go out to junior gold, bowl in high school, middle school, any other tournaments that they bowl on. It's a way for our bowlers to learn and try to advance into the next levels of their careers. So we like it this way, and we hope you guys enjoy it as well. Oh, great spare on lane 12 from Jessica Pivas, the 310. Leslie Majors, lane 11, crosses over, leaves the 5-pin. 9 counts are good today. If it's me bowling and, maybe I don't throw a great shot, cross over, leave a 5-pin, similar to what Majors did there, that's not the end of the world. I'm going to be happy with that. We'll turn around and just shoot that single pin spare. Single pins are easier than multi-pin spares. And let's see if Leslie can cover that up. Well done. That actually looked like a pretty good strike line. I think that was the line that she was trying to play in the first ball. Covers it nicely. 9 spare and moving on. Nora Russell's sister, Maggie Russell, on lane 12. All right, 1-3 spare, converted nicely. Kaiden Wilms on Lane 11, wearing an awesome H5G Brands EYT jersey. Oh, great delivery. Xavier Martinez, last month's winner, coming away with a 6 count. Move it, actually make that a 7 count. Helen asks a good question. Looking forward to discussion about string pins and what I'm seeing on the lanes. Yeah, I appreciate that. That's a good one. I'll talk about string pins. How about at the start of game 3? We've got 3 or 4 frames remaining here in game 2. And I'll get to string pins at the start of game 3. We've got some scores to go through. Let's take a look in our U12 boys division, who actually is right in front of us on lane 9 and 10. Leading the way after game 1 is Caden Regan, and that is Caden right there on lane 10. Second place, Xavier Martinez. We saw him a few times. Third place, Lillian Malloy. Fourth, Landon Henderson. Fifth, Amelia Russell. And sixth, Clayton Russell. And it looks like our U12 division is combined today. So not just for boys, that's U12 boys and girls. U14 division. This is just the boys to start U14. We also have a girls division, so a really good start here. Nehemiah Kiefer shot 215 and leads the way. Second place, Alexander Eby. Third, Eason Taylor. Fourth, Ethan Nunez, January's champion for the U14 boys division. In fifth, Tristan Wilms, who we will see, I believe Tristan is just to the left of us, so we might see him in game 3. Tristan Wilms, 5th place. U14 girls division, leading the way, Leah Basevic. Second place, Samantha Ruffin. And third, Peyton Jimenez. And fourth, Leslie Majors, as we talked about. Leslie is on 11 and 12. U16 boys division, moving on up. We saw JT Grothus in game number 1 fire 226, taking the lead after game 1, followed by Ryan Richter. Third place, Aiden Fincher. Tied for third with Aiden is Mason Richers. 5th place, Patrick Berlin. 6th, Benjamin Dahl. At 7th, and then the last place, 8th for U16 is Andrew Odeshu. Over to the U16 girls division, Grace Zika, 178 start, leads the way. Second place, Abigail Lawson, Nakel Butler, Kennedy Spears, and Leah Johnson in 5th. U18 boys division, Isaiah Reyes off to a quick start, followed by Tyler Williams, then Noah Waters, Matthew Roman, Dylan Balloon, and Rowan McGowan. Sliding over to U16 girls division, first place, Sarah Dowdy. Second, Alyssa Solomon. Third, Skylar Petz. And fourth, Haley Sloniker. U23 division, good division today, 10 bowlers. We've got first place, Joshua Newcomb, 214. Aiden Lee closely behind, 210. Donovan Lake even closer behind with 209. Then there's Ethan Cho, Zach Benz, and Chloe Sezega. Hey, Charlene is asking Landon Henderson's lane. He is right in front of us on lane 9. I hope that's correct. That's who I believe Landon is here, lane 9. I'm going to do a quick double check. Let's see if I can find those lane assignments. Yep. Yeah, Mr. Landon Henderson strikes in the 10th frame on lane 9, going again after it, and 10-pin wiggles but doesn't fall. Sandro is cheering for Louis. And I believe that is Louis Laino. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but thanks for tuning in, Sandro. Cheering for Louis. Ethan Nunez on lane 11, stubborn 7-pin, doesn't fall down for him. Going back to Louis, Rochester Christian University commit. Congratulations. Big step. Going to college and choosing a college. So big congrats. All right, I am back here. This is Riley Smith. And again, we're live currently on Facebook. Maybe we'll get YouTube figured out, but thanks for finding us here on our Facebook page. This is the Midwest Dock Solutions Open, presented by Midwest Dock Solutions. We are in Game 3 of 6 here at Lucky Strike in Bolero in Romeoville, Illinois. Again, I'm Riley Smith. This is a presentation of the Bullstream TV Elite Stream. Shout out to Emil Williams Jr. doing his thing on another stream. And Game 3 of 6. So again, thanks to all of our sponsors, including Midwest Dock Solutions, as well as Storm Products, H5G Brands, Dexter, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, as mentioned, Bullstream TV and Emil Williams Jr., Fast Track Physio, Bowl Dry Enterprises, and Gail Volschel. With all of their support and the family, friends, and bowlers of our EYT, this is made possible. Helen was asking a few minutes ago to talk about the string pin, so I'll do that. Once I get through here, we've got on 9, 10, 11, 12, Tristan Moore, Matthew Roman, Eli Moore, Peyton Remenis, Skylar Petz, Louis Lalino, Blake Amsman, and Jonas Przbolinski. Some fun names. Always has me double thinking with these names. Hopefully I'm not butchering them too bad. If you know the pronunciation, please let me know if you guys are following along. So this is a mix of U16, U18 divisions. Up on 11 is Blake. Blake is in 10th grade. Favorite bowler is the great Norm Duke. Over here on lane 10 is Matthew Roman, 12th grade at Morton West. And he recently took 4th place in the individual sectionals. Skylar Petz with a challenge in front of her. On lane 12, that's the 5-6. She'll go to her spare ball, try to split the 5-6, but too heavy on the 5-pin. Skylar bowls out of Indian Trail in 11th grade, and Skylar for Wisconsin State just made it as an individual qualifier and team qualifier. So she'll be bowling Wisconsin State coming up, as well as All-Star State in the near future. Eli Moore, lane 10, two-hander, righty. That looks pretty good. Oh, what a bad break. A little bit high on the pocket, leaves the 4-9. Eli Moore out of Lincoln Park in 10th grade. Good shot, but tough break. Over to Tristan Moore. Tristan with 2 O's in his last name. Eli with just 1. Tristan Moore also two-handed Hammond Central in 10th grade as well. There's Jonas. Jonas is senior this year. Jonas was proud of his 4 300 games so far in his career, and one of them being at state last year, firing 300. Jonas's favorite bowler is Belmo, Jason Belmonte. And Peyton, lane 10 for us, working on a 9 spare 8th frame. Peyton is in 8th grade and has a couple of top 5 state finishes to her name already. In 6th grade, 4th place at state, and 7th grade, 5th place at state. So awesome first 2 years for Peyton, who is on lane 10, looking to go 9 spare back to back. That is the 6-pin, and very straight, direct at it. Good conversion, Peyton. All right, let's talk about string pins for a moment. All right, at a high level, string pins. That's the first time the Elite Youth Tour is bowling on string pins. We are at Lucky Strike in Romeoville, Illinois, where they've installed the string pins. String pins, so they are literally connected. The pins are connected by strings. And the machine is not your traditional free-falling pin machine. It is simply connected string to pin, and after the pin falls, the string stays attached. And sometimes the pins will get tangled up a little bit. The machine will lift up the strings, lift up the pins, and if the pins are still tangled up, it'll set them back down, lift them back up, and do that a couple times. And essentially that's like for a normal free-falling set of pins. Maybe there's a jam or 180s, different terminologies that you guys have heard. When the rack will not set the pins up, that's the equivalent for string pins. They usually untangle themselves. From what I've heard, the benefit of string pins is the maintenance costs as far as mechanical needs.
Yeah, we're saving this for the live stream. Yeah, because we have people that come in. You can use it right now if you need to. Okay.
Shake it up, shake it up. Shake it up, let's go.
So sometimes the mechanical costs support bowling alleys to switch to string pins. Now, as far as the comparison of string pins to free falling, there is a big difference. String pins, you might see some interesting combinations that are left compared to free falling. String pins, you might see some lucky results where the pins, whether it's a strike or a spare, will maybe be brought down by an actual string itself. String pins as well, just comparing again to free fall, it's a little more difficult in my experience. I've bowled on it a couple of times now, where string pins, you really have to hit the pocket in the right spot, because the light hits on the pocket, where we call it a mixer, right? So you're a little bit light on the head pin, and the pins start to dance around as they fall, and then those are the light mixers that we call. For string pins, that's not a great hit in my experience, because you'll probably leave, if you're a righty and you come up light on the head pin, you'll probably leave like a 7-pin or something like that. The light mixers don't fall as easily. And then if you throw it and hit the pocket, but it's a little bit flat on the pocket, that's where you would see like a 10-pin, maybe a flat 10-pin, or sometimes 5 pins are left up. Those flatter hits on the pocket are not very generous. Meaning if it's a flat hit, you're very likely to leave a 10-pin or another, maybe a flat 7-pin. And I've seen a lot of 5-7s as well, hitting the pocket a little bit light, a little bit flat, and the 5-7 is often left as well. I think my overall summary, this is also my opinion of string pins. if it's going to keep bowling alleys around and allow maybe families to continue to own bowling alleys and help with their costs, hey, I support it. You know, anything to keep a bowling alley open, I'm all for it. Also, string pin versus free fall, in my opinion, this is just me here. As long as we're all bowling on the same playing field, I'll sign up. It doesn't matter if we're using free fall or string pins, I'll sign up. As long as we're bowling with the same type of pins, sign me up. But the difference of string pins and free fall are very different, in my opinion. You've really got to be more accurate on the pocket with string pins. Otherwise, if it's light, you will leave something light, and if it's a flat hit, you will leave something flat. Free fall pins, you have a little bit more error for success when you hit the pocket, just because those pins will dance around a little bit more, right? Essentially, the strings on these pins are only so long, where if it goes like the head pin, if it goes all the way to the left gutter, it has some slack on it, but it can't move around as much as a free fall pin. I hope that makes sense. There are two different ways to set up string pins. And I don't know the specifics behind it, but I know one way is USB-C approved, and the other way is not USB-C approved. One way is basically it's the length of the string. Some are going to be a little bit shorter, some will be a little bit longer. But there is a certain length that USB-C has approved for string pin play. And of course, today we are playing under those legal requirements set by USB-C. So anything that is bowled today will be recorded for USB-C sanctions. If we were to have a 300, 800 honor score, that would be sanctioned and approved. So my final comments on strings, if I had to summarize it for you guys again, string pins, they fall way differently than free fall. They are more true to the type of hit on the pocket. So if it's a flat hit, you'll likely have a flat result, meaning a flat 10 pin, maybe a flat 7-10. It could be a 5-7. So I think it's more true to what happens when the ball hits the pins. I think it's a more true leave. Free fall, they dance around a little more crazily, and messengers, mixers, high flush, stuff like that is a little more likely to strike, in my opinion. So that's it. That's my summary. My opinion, if it keeps bowling alleys open, I'm all for it. As long as we all bowl on the same conditions. I'm curious what your guys' opinions are. We've got a decent amount of viewers here. Stage is mine just because I have the mic, but I want to hear your guys' opinions, and I can share them as well. If you guys have opinions or experience bowling on string pins, feel free to drop a comment. Want to remind everyone again, this is the Midwest Dock Solutions Open, and I want to do a quick sponsor highlight of Midwest Dock Solutions, celebrating 20 years of service, launched in 2006. Tony Zarlengo had no job and transitioning out of a career as a golf professional. That was back in 2006 at about 28 years old. He decided to take the leap of faith and build something from the ground up. 20 years later, Midwest Dock Solution employs more than 20 full-time team members. Their foundation has always been simple. It's honesty. That is a core value of theirs. Love that. In an industry where unnecessary repairs can easily increase profit, Midwest Dock Solutions built its reputation on transparency, accountability, and doing what's right, even when it's not the easiest path. Midwest Dock Solutions, and led by Tony, supports youth bowling in many ways. Of course, here supporting the EYT. It's not just sponsorship, it's giving back to a community that has meant so much to their own family. Tony's son began bowling at age 6, and the sport has created lifelong friendships and a sense of family. That's awesome to hear. That's what we're hoping to do here at the EYT. It's a great partnership with Midwest Dock Solutions, and we are trying to do the same. Create a platform for these bowlers to participate in a sport, create lifelong friendships, and a family atmosphere. So we at the EYT are grateful to partner with Midwest Dock Solutions and Tony's our lingo. So again, thank you, Midwest Dock Solutions. So we are concluding game number 3 on 11 and 12. That was Blake starting his 10th frame. Skylar Petz with a double in the 8th and 9th, and now an 8 count starting her 10th frame. So we're looking for a pair of spares in our 10th frame. First, we'll have Blake, and this is a difficult one. This is a sleeper. This is the 3-8 spare combination. The ball will have to take care of both of these. If it goes a little straighter, cut across it. Oh, okay, there we go, folks. Well, that's an example of string pins. That's a crazy example. Skylar picks it up nicely. But if anyone was looking closely at Blake's spare there, that was a little too far left on the 3-pin, but the strings got tied up somehow, and the 8-pin ended up falling. So that's a spare, and Blake is rewarded with a fill ball. And how about that? Takes advantage. Blake, a big fan of Norm Duke, with 2 300 games of his own, is in 10th grade and finishes 162. Skylar Petz, after this, will be on her way to the Wisconsin State High School Tournament. Fires 177 for her 3rd game. And let's get on to game number 4 here at the Elite Youth Tour Midwest Dock Solutions Open. Thanks as always to Dexter Bowling, H5G Brands, Storm Products, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Bowlstream TV, Fast Track Physio, Bowl Dry Enterprises, and Gail Volschel. I'm Riley Smith. All right, I am back here, Riley Smith again. I would just like to get some information from our bowlers. So I go down there and try to have a quick discussion and have them fill out a piece of paper. So I am back, though. We are in the middle of game number 4. Thanks for tuning in, and if you have a moment, please share this. Ask some of your family and friends to join watching some of our best youth bowlers in the country and possibly in the world. We have a lot of talent here on the Elite Youth Tour, including bowlers like Tyler Paulus stepping up on lane 10, like Nathan Cantrell, who we saw spare in his 5th frame, among others. A lot of talent on a challenging pattern today. We expected scores to be low, and that is what we're seeing right now, low scores. Challenging spares are very important. Now let's take a moment to look at bowl metrics. We've got our standings linked in the comments. It's a pinned comment. Click that link, takes you to bowl metrics. Also takes you, there's a separate comment that will have the bowling pattern that we're on today. So in the U18, U12 boys division, taking the top 3, leading the way, Xavier Martinez. In second, Caden Regan. And in third, at the cut, is Landon Henderson. U14 boys, taking the top 4, leading the way, Nehemiah Kiefer. Second place, Alexander Eby. Third place, Nathaniel Berlin. And in fourth is Eason Taylor. Over to the girls for U14. In first, Peyton Remenes. In second, Leia Basevic. And third, Samantha Ruffin. U16 now for the boys. Taking the top 8. I'll fire through these. Ryan Richter, first place, followed by Patrick Berlin, Dylan Seta, Aiden Fincher, Lucas Harada, JT Grothis, Colin Farber, and Jackson Colin. U16 girls, top 4, Addison Johnson, who we have in front of us on 9 and 10, Nako Butler, Grace Zika, and Abigail Lawson. U18 division boys, top 8. First place, Anthony Swanson. Then there's Sebastian Kruppa, Tyler Paulus, who will be on lane number 9. Nathan Cantrell, also on 9 and 10. Rowan McGowan on lane 11 and 12. Noah Waters stepping up on lane 11. 7th and 8th place, Matthew Roman and Tyler Williams. U18 girls division, top 2 will make the cut, and that is Sarah Dowdy and Alyssa Salman. U23 division, some college athletes bowling there. Donovan Lake leads the way, followed by Nathan Noskil Sakai. Then Josh Newcomb and Aiden Lee is the cut. Awesome, and now we've got some information on our bowlers in front of us. So, Lucas Harada on lane 9, southpaw from the left side. Comes across the head pin, leaves a single pin. Lucas Harada, 10th grade already. Lucas is bowling EYTs for many years now. Already in the 10th grade. Coming out of Morton West High School. Favorite bowler, Norm Duke. And Lucas as well, bowling many other tournaments. 2-time qualifier state as a team. 8-time medalist in high school. And he's very proud to say last year he made the varsity team as a freshman. And back on it this year as a sophomore. Addison Johnson stepping up on lane 9. That looks pretty good, and it hits the pocket. However, the 10-pin still stands. So Addison Johnson coming out of River Falls High School, also in 10th grade. And Daria Pajak is her favorite bowler. Addison's recent accomplishments: Pepsi state title in Wisconsin, and at Junior Gold made the final advancers round. Tyler Paula stepping up on lane 10. Taft High School, 11th grade. That one gets away, crosses over. Noah Waters hits the pocket, but 7-pin still stands. Tyler Paulus has also a lot of experience in EYTs and now is a 2-time EYT title holder as he goes for a difficult sleeper spare 3-8 and a similar result. I'm not as surprised anymore with these string pins. With that 3-8 spare, the 3-pin, if you hit it too heavy, we saw, who was it just last game? We saw Blake in his 10th frame do the same thing. As a righty going at the 3-8, if you hit the 3-pin on the left side, it will hit the sidewall, and then the string actually takes out the 8. So I've seen that twice now. Interesting stuff from Tyler Paulus there, but 2-time EYT champion. And Tyler also, in his history at the EYT, has fired a 300 game during EYT competition. Norm Duke is getting a lot of love from our bowlers here. That is Tyler Paulus, Lucas Harada. Both of their favorite bowlers of all time. Nathan Cantrell. Oh, he gets a lucky break too. Spares on the 7 count out of Lockport, 11th grade. And he's also got a 300 to his name. He bowled 300 in the state tournament for Illinois. Nathan's favorite bowler is Jason Belmonte. Over to 11 and 12. Rowan McGowan will step up on lane 11 and start us with the 9th frame. Walter Payton College Prep is where Rowan attends in 11th grade. 2-hander, that's a good rev rate on that one, and he is lined up on that lane for sure. Really good shot from Rowan. His favorite bowler, Packy. Packy hand-to-hand, lefty, 2-hander. Martin Jimenez Jr. out of Rivas. Follows up on lane 11. Hey, he gets a strike too. That's 2 strikes in the 9th frame. 11th grade is Martin. His favorite bowler is the stylish, flashy Kyle Troop. Martin is proud of this accomplishment. He made it to state in just his 2nd year of bowling. So already off to a great start in his young bowling career. Just 2 years bowling, already has made it to state. Congratulations, Martin. That leads us to Patrick Berlin, Lincoln Way West, 10th grade on lane 12. Left-hander in the 9th frame. Patrick made a really good showing at the state tournament, shot 300 and finished in 12th place. Illinois State Tournament. Congrats to Patrick Berlin. His favorite bowler also the great personality Packy Hanrahan. So there's two favorite bowlers there. That is for Patrick and Rowan. Packy's their favorite bowler. So Noah Waters starts the 10th frame in style with a nice strike. Out of Huntley, Noah is in 11th grade now. He made the IHSA All-State team. A double could get Noah into the 180s. Spare shooting from Cantrell, very important. So good stuff there. Charlene is cheering for Landon. As I was going through the standings, Landon currently within the cut line. We'll keep getting that updated so you can track that. And hopefully Landon can maintain that position inside the cut. If so, we'll have him in a little while after our qualifying ends. We'll have Landon on the live stream if he stays within that cut line for Eliminator Finals. Over to Martin on lane 12. Leaves the 2-pin after a double. And now it's Patrick's turn. Two-handed lefty just like his favorite bowler, Packy Hanrahan. And interesting leave. That's going to be the 4-5. So Cantrell in his 10th frame. He started with 3 strikes in a row, but after that, a string of spares. Can he get back on track? A little wide of target there. And that's, I believe, a 4 count. So difficult spare, makeable, but it'll be difficult. We'll see what Cantrell can do there as we look over to lane 10, where it's Lucas Herrada, Morton West High School, 10th grade, coming around the corner. Ooh, a little light. So again, a string of spares heading into the 10th frame for Lucas and Cantrell. Let's see if we can keep that spare streak going. First off, Cantrell, stay there. Oh, leaves one. So open frame, 187 for Nathan. Lucas able to convert, and he will throw one more shot for the 10th frame. Tyler Paulus coming across the headpin, but he gets a break. Good strike after the open frame, looking to take advantage and double in this 10th frame. Oh, ball change. Got a lot of reaction off that one. Comes across the headpin and leaves the 10. Lucas doing the same here will make a ball change with the fill ball. And 183 for Lucas. So one more 10th frame before we finish game 4, and this is Addison. Oh, spare for Addison in the 10th frame. Switches to a spare ball and throws it flat and straight. So good conversion. One more ball for Addison. Strike gives her 172. And then we will transition on to game number 5. Out of 6. That looks better than her last one. And great result. All 10 in the pit. 172 final for Addison. A good finish after a rocky start. Battles back. Does Addison with some spares, couple strikes, and a great fill ball. Maybe some momentum heading into game number 5 for Addison. And quickly moving on. 11 and 12 has ramped up. There's Sarah Dowdy. 9 and 10 are moving through as well. So game number 5 up and running. Again, for the viewers out there, Riley Smith Elite Youth Tour. We are at Lucky Strike in Romeoville, Illinois. This is the Midwest Dock Solutions Open. If you have any bowlers that you're cheering for that you want an update on, I can look around and see if they're nearby. We can also go into bowl metrics and give you an update on scores. So please let me know. And I am back. This is Riley Smith with the Elite Youth Tour. Lucky Strike in Romeoville, Illinois. Thanks for joining me. And thanks for joining the Elite Youth Tour, brought to you by Midwest Dock Solutions. We are in game number 5 of 6. So we are off and rolling. We've got some people tuning in. Xander Eby always has a nice following. So thanks Doug and Josh for tuning in to our live stream. Melissa Moreno wishing good luck to Matthew. Keep an eye on Bull Metrics. That link is pinned in the comments. And Bowmetrics is our scoring system that we update after every game. And in there you will see the cut line. Various divisions having various bowlers. Speaking of our divisions, we've got U12 combined. So that's boys and girls. 6 bowlers in it. U14 boys has 8 and the girls have 6. U16 division boys has 22 and the girls have 10. U18 division, the boys have 28 and the girls have 4. And our U23 division has 12 bowlers. Awesome field today. A nice turnout overall with some of our bigger divisions being 28 and 22 bowlers. So 96 total bowlers today are taking their shot at the 2025 Junior Gold pattern number 2, the U15 and U18 boys pattern. 96 total. Awesome turnout. We love to see it. If you're watching back at home, please share this stream so family and friends can tune in. As well, if you know any bowlers that are not bowling today that are interested, please have them come on out. We are bowling again next Saturday. Usually there's more of a break in between. This time around, 7 days. So we'll be in Arlington Heights at Arlington Lanes just 1 week from now. And speaking of our bowlers, on 9 and 10 we have Dylan Seta, Mason Reachers, Xander Eby, and Nehemiah Kiefer. On 11 and 12 we have Sarah Dowdy, Jackson Cologne, Michael Burns, and Rohan Shah on 11 and 12. Here's Rohan out of Lake Park in 11th grade currently. Stepping up on lane 12 is Sarah Dowdy out of Sterling High School. She's also in 11th grade. And a huge accomplishment for Sarah. I'll highlight her on this frame here in the 8th frame. A little bit of turbulence after the start of the game with a couple of opens, but Sarah Dowdy, an excellent accomplishment most recently here at the Illinois State Tournament. Sarah went on to shoot 298. So she made it all the way to the last game, last frame, 8 count, 298. So close to a perfect game, but it gets better. After the 298, proceeds to shoot an 800 series honor score at state, national honor score. But wait, it gets better than that. Sarah Dowdy from Sterling High School, 11th grade, first place at the Illinois State Tournament. So big congratulations to Sarah. Well deserved. Sarah's won many EYTs in her career so far and now adds an awesome state title to her record. Her favorite bowler is Daria. So everyone at the EYT, very proud of your accomplishments, Sarah, and keep up the good work. All right, over to Rohan on lane 12, leaves the 7-pin. He's proud of his high game, 267. And his favorite bowler is one of the greatest in Chris Barnes. How about that? All right, we turn it over to Michael Burns, starting the 9th frame for us on 11 and 12. Michael Burns bowls out of Richards. He's a senior, 12th grade, and also has a 300 to his name.
How you doing today? Is that after 4 games or after 5? After. All right. So we're going with the 50. Okay. How many are they taking for you? Come on, man. Right there. Keep going. Keep it going.
So Burns with a nice strike in the 9th frame. Also has a 300 to his name. And his favorite bowler is Santu. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's the motive bowler. He's got a very powerful two-handed approach. Santu is Michael's favorite bowler. Pretty cool. First time I've seen that name on the list. All right, Sarah, back on the spare train, 2 in a row. And over to Jackson Cologne on lane 12 in his 9th frame as well. Pretty good game going on, looking to convert the spare in his 9th frame. Jackson out of Lincoln Park High School. All right, good spare, Jackson. Jackson's a senior. Excuse me, Jackson is in 10th grade at Lincoln Park High School and recently finished 31st at the state tournament for Illinois. Awesome stuff there, Jackson. And how about this? Jackson's favorite bowler is the young Ryan Barnes. All right, so Ryan Barnes, the son of Chris Barnes, on the PBA Tour. That's Jackson's favorite bowler. And then on the same lane, out of Lake Park, is Rohan on lane 11. His favorite bowler is Chris Barnes. So there you have it. 2 big fans of the Barnes on 11 and 12. Mason on lane 9, two-handed righty. That's a pretty good delivery and a good shot. Leaves the 4-pin. Mason is in 9th grade. His favorite bowler, one of the greatest bowlers right now, world number 1, E.J. Tackett for Mason. That's his favorite bowler. Alexander Eby with a powerful strike. Eby's in 8th grade, and he shot his first 300 in the fall of last season. How about that? Congratulations to Alexander Eby, putting up his first 300. Impressive stuff. Just in the 8th grade, his favorite bowler, Tom Hess. Nehemiah Kiefer trying to figure some stuff out, talking to himself, thinking about how the lanes are playing, what they're giving to him, and what he should be doing. Nehemiah Kiefer, I'm confident he'll figure it out. He is a extremely accomplished young bowler, 7th grade out of Roosevelt Middle School, and he's got 9 300s, all with 1 sanctioned. So he's already known. He's already figured out how to strike. He's got 2nd place at Junior Gold in 2025. That's Mr. Nehemiah Kiefer. Favorite bowler is Jason Belmonte. Nehemiah, impressive bowler in his own right already, collecting multiple EYT victories. Always good to see Nehemiah around, and also supporting one of the Elite Youth Tour H5G brands, Chicago White Sox collaboration. That is the jersey that he's got on. Over to Jackson in his 10th frame. Oh, come on, two-pin. Wiggles, but doesn't come down. A good shot from Jackson. Looking for a spare now. Let's see, EB, can he double here? Wide right. 7 count. So we're all finished up on 11 and 12. This is game number 5. Let me know if you have any questions out there, folks, on format, lane pattern, any bowlers, again, that you're watching. Let me know about any questions. Just approaching the noon time here in Romeoville, Illinois, and Nehemiah steps up when it's needed in the 10th frame, comes away with a strike. And looking to double now. Dylan finishes up 133. Dylan, 3-time all-conference accomplishment. Favorite bowler, Jason Belmonte. Dylan out of Lake Park High School is in 11th grade. Over to Nehemiah, 7th grade. And already throws it very well, and already an accomplished bowler. Wraps the 10 and still trying to figure out what's going on. These lanes are tricky. No matter how talented you are, these lanes are not easy. All right, EB spares in the 10th. Out of Van Wert Middle School. As I mentioned, he's in 8th grade. Another accomplished and powerful bowler just in the 8th grade. Let's see if we can finish with a strike here. Coming across the head pin, gets it to fall. 166 for EB. And now we have Mason that will take us away in the 10th frame for game number 5. Great shot. That was well executed. Posts the shot, two-handed on the right side. Lot of rev rate. Good ball speed. I like this kid's game. Throws it well. Awesome. We've got Shauna cheering for Mason. Tuning in. We talked about Melissa cheering for Matthew. Michelle Young also cheering for Xander Eby. So Mason finishes with 153. And momentarily we will bring in game number 6, our final qualifying game. But stick around, because after this game we will have the exciting Eliminator Finals. So we're skipping 2 pairs and we bowl on the 3rd. So we will welcome in some new bowlers. And welcome back, Riley Smith with the Elite Youth Tour. This is game number 6, the final game of qualifying. And as we have one pair remaining just on the live stream pair, there's multiple pairs remaining ahead of us and behind us. But basically lanes 1 through 10 are done. And higher than that, we are still bowling, so I'll move this over slightly. See if we can get a little better shot of our final qualifying pair. And hopefully get a little more of the approach. How about that? Well, hopefully that looks good for you guys. We've got Tina Wicks cheering for Alyssa. Thank you, Tina. "96 bowlers turned out today. Awesome turnout. Really big field. And as we are in game 6, just a couple of other things that I didn't get to. I want to mention that today's EYT Impact, social change on the lanes for this month. So every month we do a Every month we do an EYT Impact where we partner with a nonprofit or someone in the community, different organizations, to make an impact. That's what we're trying to create. Leaders on and off the lanes. And this month, we took our impact beyond the bowling center and are proud to support the Chicago Animal Care and Control. CACC, Chicago Animal Care and Control. This organization is dedicated to protecting and caring for animals that are in need throughout Chicago. And our bowlers showed out big time for us with their families to support the Chicago Animal Care and Control by bringing various products that help support animal care and control. So some services that this organization provides is lost and found pets, adopting pets, taking animals in for shelter, providing vaccines for animals as well. Essentially, the Chicago Animal Care and Control protects public safety and ensures the humane care of animals through sheltering, pet replacement, education, and animal law enforcement. I'll post their website if you guys are interested to continue to go above and beyond and support in the comment section right now. That is the City of Chicago Animal Care and Control. Like I said, every month we do an EYT Impact, growing leaders both on and off the lanes, and letting our youth bowlers know that you can make an impact together in a large way. This time around, it's for pets. I think everyone can support that. In the past, we've done various things like supporting breast cancer funds, supporting winter coats, winter coat drives. We've done back-to-school drives where there's donations of backpacks, pens, pencils, coloring items, notepads, things like that, and many, many other things. We've been doing that for a couple of years now, and what a great success that is. Hey, we got a trip strike for a double. That leads us to Isaiah Reyes. We also have Rush Kahut on this pair with Alex Zarlengo. All right, Alex looking good. Oh, come on, little help. A little high on the head pin. 6-10, 8 count. Alex Zarlengo, the son of our title sponsor today, Tony Zarlengo. Again, this is the Midwest Dock Solutions Open, courtesy of Midwest Dock Solutions. Shout out to Tony and the 20-plus full-time employees that Tony's been able to grow the business to. Proud supporter of the Elite Youth Tour and also youth bowling across the community. Midwest Dock Solutions. There's Rush. Also leaving, gets the late fall, so just the 6-pin. After this, we will ramp up for the exciting Eliminator Finals and match play portion of today's event. So everyone that makes the cut will have a chance to win an EYT title today. Every division has a various number of bowlers. So we'll have a different number of bowlers that make the cut in each division. Here's Alex again coming to us on lane 11. How about that? Powerful, confident shot from Alex. And well done. Strikes in the 8th frame. All right, Rush strikes in the 9th frame. Sets himself up well for the 10th frame coming up. Reyes looking to do the same. Setting himself up. Stay on the pocket line, but Brooklyn, and it's a 9 count, 6-pin. Back to Zarlengo after a strike, comes back. Hey, he gets a tripped 4. 9th frame doubles. Setting himself up for the 10th frame as well. So that's 3 out of the 4 bowlers with a strike in the 9th. How about that? And a comeback spare from Reyes. Didn't seem too confident about that one. No, it looks like we've got some action now on 9 and 10. It must have had a slight delay. I'll swing this over to the left and get us back onto center focus. And we are back. Riley Smith live at the Elite Youth Tour, brought to you by Midwest Dock Solutions at Lucky Strike in Romeoville, Illinois. And we are in game number 6. And there's been a lane breakdown that was causing a backup, which is why we have lanes basically 13 and higher that are done with game 6, but lanes 12 and lower are still in game number 6. Since that breakdown happened, it created a backlog. I'm just learning of that now. So we'll be having bowlers coming in at 11 and 12 because of that breakdown. So we get an extra game of live stream, but still game number 6 for these bowlers. So still in action of qualifying at this time. I want to give you guys a note. If you are looking at bowl metrics, it will not be updated for a little longer since we've had this backlog. So unofficial on bowl metrics. And here on 9 and 10, Eason Taylor, Haley Sloniker, Jabari Williams, and Abby Lawson. Abby Lawson on lane 10. Very smooth release, powerful one-hander. Comes away with a strike. Abby is a sophomore at Hannigan High School. And Abby Lawson, varsity 2 years in a row for her high school. Favorite bowler, Verity Crawley. Very good selection there. Verity Crawley, awesome bowler. Good role model. Eason Taylor looking to get back on track. A couple of open frames and leaves the 2-pin. Over to Jabari Williams. Jabari Williams, a senior at Victor J. Abram High School. His favorite bowler is Jason Belmonte. And Jabari is actually wearing a Jason Belmonte jersey, replica jersey. Mr. Jabari Williams has the 1-3 remaining. Wow, I'm not sure how that one only took the head pin back. Unfortunate break for Jabari. Jabari all conference, made it to state, and he has a high game of 289. How about that? Good job, Jabari Williams. Haley Sloniker, lane number 10. Bowls out of Yorkville. Haley is in 11th grade. Haley is on Team Illinois, and favorite bowler is E.J. Tackett. And then on 11 and 12, we've got Daniel Saletto, Blake Fullenkamp, Nicholas, and Leia Johnson. That's Nicholas Staminis. Over to Eason Taylor, looking to get back on track. Eason, a very accomplished bowler in his own right. Favorite bowler is also E.J. Tackett. Among many EYT victories, Eason also fired a 300 perfect game at Junior Gold last year in 2025. Eason is bowling out of Morgan Park Academy Center and is currently in 8th grade. If you're just joining us, a couple of things to recap as we are in game number 6 of 6 for qualifying. This is the Elite Youth Tour presented by Midwest Dock Solutions. Shout out to Tony Zarlengo. Tony and Midwest Dock Solutions is the title sponsor today. A great partnership with Tony. If you're looking for scores, I have pinned in the comments at Bowl Metrics. The bowling pattern that we're on today, a very challenging Junior Gold pattern from 2025. U15 boys and U18 boys qualifying pattern number 2. The quick, simple metrics, 39 feet in distance, 2.97 to 1 ratio, and 27.2 milliliters of oil. So very challenging pattern today. After 6 games of qualifying, we make our cut to the Eliminator style finals. And as always, thanks to all of our other supporters, including EYT bowlers, parents, family, friends, with Storm Products, Dexter Bowling, H5G Brands, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Bowlstream TV, shout out Emil Williams Jr., Fast Track Physio, Bowl Dry Enterprises, and of course Gail Volschel for their support, making the EYT possible. Today we had EYT Impact for City of Chicago Animal Care and Control. So our bowlers stepped up and are helping outside organizations. They're leading both on and off the lanes. Services that they provide, the Animal Care and Control of Chicago, Lost and Found Pets, sheltering, pet placement, so adoptions, educations, animal law enforcement, among other things. And we are bowling today at Lucky Strike in Romeoville, Illinois. Again, this is on string pins. This is the first time the Elite Youth Tour has bowled on certified string pins. This is a USBC approved string pins, as opposed to the free-falling pins that we're used to seeing. So interesting pin action that we've seen today that we're not used to. Good experience for our bowlers to get onto string pins, as it is a very common change that's going across the bowling industry is string pins. Shout out to Jabari Williams. We've got Vernon and Crystal cheering for Jabari. Also have Robert Garcia cheering for Lucas. I mentioned Jabari a little bit earlier, out of Victor J. Abram High School. believe that's Victor J. Anbrin High School. Jabari, a senior in the 12th grade. Favorite bowler, Jason Belmonte. Let's see if we can highlight Jabari here in the 9th frame. A little bit wide right of target. Leaves the 1-2-8. Jabari is proud of some recent accomplishments, including shooting .289, making all conference and state. Over to Haley Sloniker. Oh, and just a weird light hit. Unfortunately, comes away with the 5-10 for Sloniker. A ball change a couple frames ago, and a really good shot from Abby Lawson. And that is a wrap 10 for her 10th frame. Leah Johnson on lane 11 comes away with a double. And Leah, last month's January EYT champion in the U16 girls division. Leah Johnson along with Samantha Ruffin, Xavier Martinez, Leslie Majors, Ethan Nunez, Dante Reeves, and Joss Weems were victorious. Our U23 division was Aiden Lee. So that was last month's champions.
decent enough. I'm fourth right now. What do you learn? Under.
They got so awful. So I started the day sliding. Guess where I started the day sliding? I don't know where. 15. Off the rip, I was 15. Slid, snowballed at the game. 13. I moved right as the day went on. Because I threw the next back equipment at no carry. And an ace went off my hand, 6 off the wraith. Never hooked that one. It was so sensitive. I was literally taking this ball. I was, my hand was literally so soft. I was doing anything to it, you couldn't tell the ball hit the plate. I was laying it down in there so smooth. I was playing my purple, I'm not kidding you, that last pair, hooked 5 times perfect. I played the hook stop that whole game and shot 2T. And I went 9 out. I'm over there. I'm like 2 over on that second to last pair. Look at that game. Yeah, I could have had more, but so I moved 1 point that game. I literally told myself because I was battling a lot of early hooks. My setup was froze. I'm like, you're gonna open your setup at half a board. You're gonna literally do this. Go to the 3 board. Watch them come off.
Hopefully it holds for you.
And that was what I did.
Yeah.
Well, and what I wanted to do off that is either go into a big asymmetric ball like my Equinox solid, or just stay in this and go to harder. I'm not gonna move because my only predictability right now on the lane is something that hooks early. I don't have any predictability in any other ball but something that hooks early. It is unbelievable what this pattern did here versus what it did anywhere else.
Turned out to play super hard.
I bowled on this at Linwood. I threw like 8 or 9 games with one other person on it. With one other person staying the same pair. I was in the 6th arrow by the last game. Wheeling. All right, sure. Bye. All right, Riley.
All right, good
Get back
luck.
to the live stream.
Good luck. So we are done with the live stream on our pairs. 6 games of qualifying in the books. On the high side, there is still bowling yet to be completed. So I'll wrap it up here on the live stream. It'll be probably looking like a 45 to 60 minute time gap between now and the start of our Eliminator Finals. So I will cut this stream and start a new one. But before I do that, I want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in. Take a look here, about 1:30 Central Time, I'm guessing is approximately when I'll be able to get back on and bring you the exciting Eliminator Finals. So stay tuned. I'll be cutting this one, starting a brand new stream. In the meantime, thanks again for watching and tuning in. This has been a presentation of Bullstream TV and the Elite Stream. I'm Riley Smith, and this is the Midwest Dock Solutions Open at Lucky Strike in Romeoville, Illinois. Thanks to all of our supporters, Storm Products, Dexter Bowling, H5G Brands, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Bullstream TV, Fast Track Physio, Bull Dry Enterprises, and Gail Volschel. Thanks to all of our EYT family, friends, and fans for tuning in. I'm Riley Smith. We will be back at about 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So don't go far. I will cut this stream, and we will come back again and crown champions at our Midwest Dock Solutions Open February edition of the Elite Youth Tour.